will always go back to is like Sheena, who looked unbelievable. She did a show. What show did she do a couple weeks ago?
Last month she did the Toronto Super Show.
Vancouver. So, yeah,
Toronto.
Toronto Super Show. Then she just did this show. I mean, I love her look. I love her shape. Um, here's the sad thing: it's like, a girl like that is probably not going to get into Olympia. Who should probably be in Olympia if they had a point system, and that sucks. And that really sucks with not having that point system now because it's a girl who should be in the show because I love her look. Um, it's what bodybuilding should be about, that kind of look, to bring some of the femininity back to it. But, it's going to be unfortunate that, she's one of these girls outside looking in, and if she can't win whatever show she jumps into next, which all these shows that's coming up next are heavy hitter shows, and a lot of good girls are going to come in these shows. And not unless she can dry out, bring her conditioning up some more, it's going to be super tough for her to get into the Olympia this year.
And also, I think because she's a little bit taller, she has that more
Yeah.
athletic, lean look. It's hard
Yeah, she's
to
like
compete.
Tina. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like Tina because Tina's 5'8.5", 5'9". So it's just it's hard for these tall girls to, when you're standing next to Sheena, maybe 5'8", maybe, and again, Michaela's 4'11". It's like I had a competitor do Team U last week, and they had a class that was 5'5" to 6'2". Well, how the fuck do you compare that? Because you have a guy who's five, Bruce is 5'7", 183 pounds, in great shape, ripped. But then you got a guy who's 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. That's a big weight discrepancy, and that's what we're talking about here. Where you got Sheena, who this girl is like 5'7", 5'8", and then you got Michaela, who's probably maybe pushing 5 feet. It's like muscle bellies and looks are just different at that. At that when we're talking about height and bodybuilding, that is.
yeah. Good example. This was the Portugal Pro, which was last like earlier last month, and how I was rooting for Sherry. Sherry looked great. She looked in condition, but what it is,
Yeah,
Anastasia was just she had that's a little bit more size because she was a little shorter. I think she's not even 5 feet tall. She might be 5 feet.
yeah,
And you say she was more even because she did an interview. I'm sure did an interview with Glenn from the Amazon Fitness magazine. She said that the thing was that Anastasia was a little bit, especially in the legs, she was a little bit more even compared to Sherry, who had great conditioning, but still just lacks that little bit of size, especially when it comes down to the legs. She has great, like I said, Sherry has a great body. She's amazing physique. You know, um, Will she grow any bigger? I doubt it because she's already almost 50, and sometimes even you don't put on that size beforehand, and it's just or if you like I said again, if you're a little shorter, then you can put on the muscle pretty good. It's a lot hard, like I said, and Cherry's not that tall, but Anastasia's just more even. They would say it was calling her like the Lee Priest, female version of Lee
yeah.
Priest.
And he was and Lee Priest was a freak, but he could never get in there. He could never break into that top three spot. I mean, like Jay Cutler and all those guys say, Lee Priest was the freakiest dude you ever seen. But aesthetically wise and size wise, when you're standing next to Kevin and Flex and Chris Cormier and Ronnie Coleman and Jay and all those guys, it's just hard. Because he got these crazy muscle bellies, but that's why I don't understand you have this discrepancy between men's bodybuilding like Hade and Derek Langford, who are shorter guys that can kill kill Big Ramy or Samson Dua. But then we go to women's bodybuilding. If you're taller, it hurts you. Versus if you're a male, it really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't. So it's a real discrepancy in the two. Where Michaela's what 4'11" maybe, and I don't
Mhm.
know how tall the girl was and who was second to her. But I mean, I thought Sheena's conditioning probably was better than the girl who was in second. She had bigger muscle bellies because again, she's shorter. So it's I love the look. I love that look.
Yeah, she
So I
like
call it the hybrid look of bodybuilding. That's the new. Everybody used to say that about Tina, the hybrid look about women's bodybuilding.
yeah, because Sheila is like I said, I met her in person. I know you've been around her quite a bit. This is here for
Yeah,
the pictures from the
good person.
show. Yeah, she has that great lean, good look. I think maybe classic
Yep.
women's bodybuilding from back in the day, but it's hard as the division evolves. Also,
Yeah.
you had Tina Chandler was there, and she did pretty good. She got sixth place, and this is she hadn't competed almost in over 10 years, and she's in her
Wow.
fifties, and she come in here and she, even though there was like only like eight competitors, she still got 6 out of 8 and was in top five for women's baskets. I think she probably would do better in physique.
Yes.
Yeah, because when she was competing, it was that era when you still had to. It was like Iris Kyle and them, and those women were kind of like what the women now look at in women's physique, than with bodybuilding.
Well, I mean,
Also,
if you're looking at that picture, I mean, you can look at she has those unbelievable, really, really conditioned legs, but her waist has to be smaller because her waistline comes out to her quads, and if her waistline is smaller, I think she does better. But yes, definitely, I thought if she goes over the women's physique, she'll do really well.
mhm. And right here we have a picture of Patty Hansen, and Patty, is in 2022, last time she competed, she nearly was dying on stage from dehydration, but she looked a
Mhm.
lot fuller. She put on some good amount of size. I mean,
What place was she?
she was fourth in open, but she
Oh,
didn't do masters. She did fourth, so she really did pretty good. And she's only been a pro for a couple of years. She also earned her pro card at Michigan International in 2021. Or no, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. And here we have Michaela, and Michaela is just a freak on the leash. I mean, her shoulders, her delts. But the thing is that she does have that, as some people tell me, an awkward build because she's so
look at her. I
short.
mean, but look at her one quad. It's just weird looking. It's like if you look at her quads, they're not balanced. That's the thing that bugs me. It's like that like she has a great outer sweep on her left quad, and then her right quad is like down by her kneecap. It's like weird. You see that?
Yeah, it kind of like it's poking off to the side like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's just
yeah.
like I don't know what that is. It's just weird. Maybe a bad
And
injection or something.
here's Salika right here. She's doing a workout. She has
Shit.
you look at her shoulders. Great development around the delts. I mean, just one thing is the midsection because I think she has a child, and sometimes when you have children, it does affect how your midsection looks. I think that's something. Even if she trains it probably won't really. But I think one thing is that her back and her shoulders are probably her best feature.
Yeah, and she openly admitted she's like, I gotta work on, she says I got some things to work on before Rising Phoenix, and conditioning being one of them. But other than that, she looked pretty good.
And we have here is Victoria Dominguez. Now, Victoria was at one point I thought Victoria was going to win the Masters, but then the judges swapped them out, her and Salika. And last time I think Victoria competed a couple of years ago. Um, not
Smooth in the
much,
midsection.
huh?
Smooth
Yeah,
in the midsection.
yeah. She needs to really. I don't know. It's just something. It looks like I was a little bit like that issue, like how all talks about guys with protruding bellies, and it was a little bit more tight. Overall, you can look at the shoulders, good condition legs, but
Text
still,
Grandma Elaine.
yeah. If she worked that midsection a little better, coming in tighter, I think she probably would place
I'm on
well.
my podcast. I'll have to call you back.
Who? Oh, yeah. That's Keith talking on the phone. Yeah, anything they can hear.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anyway, we'll go back to here. We also, also at the show was Alina Popa, and
Hello?
she was there with Linda. They were doing a little conversation. They were giving their critique, so we'll find it here, and I'm going to play it. Where is it? I saw it. You see, it's. Wait a minute. I thought you had it. Give me a second, folks. I saw it a few minutes ago when I was on here. Because they give their critique. They always do this after the show, especially since it's Linda's show. There it is. I think this is one of the first critiques.
Hello, guys. We're here at the Atlanta Pro Super Show, and today we wrapped up and we got through, let's see, of course, women's bodybuilding figure, bikini, and what was the
Women's
fourth?
physique.
Women's physique and women's physique. Whoa. Let's start with figure. We have masters for every division.
We had masters in over 40 for every division, but I just wanted to say that, like in the figure division, there were so many competitors. I was
Yeah.
impressed with the lineup and the quality of these
Mhm.
girls.
Thank you,
And
ladies, for showing up.
yeah, definitely judges had a really hard time. I saw Sarah Van Heiden in sixth place,
Yes.
and I'm just trying to picture back. She had an amazing body, good flow. Her delts were popping,
Yes.
and I really like that her frame had width to it.
Yeah.
So she was a beautiful competitor. In
Beautiful
sixth place.
competitor in
Yes.
sixth place. Yes. And in fifth, Stacy, right? Stacy
Yeah, we have
Steiner.
Stacy Steiner. Yes, Stacy was I thought she has a big frame. She was a little flat on the legs, but
Mhm.
otherwise great flow. Fourth place was Courtney
Courtney,
Jackson Jacobs.
Courtney
Sorry.
Jacobs. Mhm.
Yes, I thought that she had great flow. She was hard on her upper body, great delts, and great waist, really small waist.
Really small waist.
And I
Very nice
love
structure.
her back pose was
It was
very
phenomenal.
beautiful. Yes, I really enjoyed watching her. And third place is somebody we've seen, and I particularly have seen quite a lot. She's competing in Romania.
Yes.
Zulfia Bitieva.
And she's always like normal. She
Yeah.
just brings it. She's always so conditioned, really balanced, and she's not as
Yeah.
not as ripped. I think she's doing it intentionally,
She-
right?
yes.
Which is amazing because she was in amazing shape here. It's hard to believe that she could be leaner than what she was.
I know. And she also won the over 40 in Masters today.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was a great placing for her.
Yes.
Third place in Open and first in over 40. I really like her flow and the way she's posing.
I
and
really do.
everything.
Yeah.
The way her muscles pop, it's really remarkable.
Mhm. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. No question. I don't believe she's qualified yet for the Olympia. I just expect to see
I don't
her on
think
the.
she's, yeah.
Yeah, I
she's
expect
not
to
yet.
see her on the Olympia stage. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
And in second place, we had.
Kristen McGregor.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it was a battle between her and Cherish Richardson.
Yes.
Who won that?
Yes, and the thing is, her physique, phenomenal, Kristen, phenomenal structure, her muscle, the shape of her structure. She just not as lean and she wasn't as conditioned as Cherish.
Yes, definitely Cherish had more conditioning, but Kristen had a small waist,
Tiny waist.
great open shoulders and delts and everything. The flow of her lines were beautiful.
Yes.
But Cherish was I found that like her conditioning was better for sure. But frame was somewhat more smaller. But man, the quality, the 3D effect of the muscle, the density.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what made her.
Yeah.
And she has huge biceps for a figure.
Yes.
Cherish.
Yes.
And she's
She's a
flexed, I was
firefighter.
like, oh my god.
She's a firefighter. She's a strong woman. And,
well, congratulations, ladies. And
yes,
let's move.
welcome to the Olympia, Cherish.
Let's
Again.
moving over to women's physique.
Okay. Oh yeah, women's physique. 23 women showed up. It was really
Lots
tough.
of muscles.
All of them were in great shape. I was so surprised. I had no idea we'd have that many.
I know.
And I was
Very
just really
seldom to
impressed.
see so
Really
many.
impressed. I guess in that first call out, and I know the final, they had Anna Harrias.
I would say
Harrias.
yes.
They had Autumn Swanson and Linka
Lenka, yes.
Farinkukova.
Ferenkukova, yes.
And Amanda Mukado and
Machado.
Winsome White.
Yes, I mean it was packed. It was lined
It
up.
was.
And let's start by saying that the winner of this was Anna Harrias.
Yes.
And she also won the over 40.
Yes.
She got double win today.
Which is
here.
amazing, right? She won over 40.
And
Amazing
yes.
muscle as far as development. No question about it. Like I think about the women at the Olympia.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
She has the muscle.
I mean,
for
the
sure.
bell
and
was
the conditioning.
The bell was
And beautiful
between,
structure too.
Between her and Amanda. They battled, and I think it was very close. I think that, as a matter of fact, the way the judges kind of like
they said it was 1 point.
Yeah, I think that Amanda was in the morning; it was ahead, and then in the evening, Anna came in harder, and she's got it. You know, like Amanda, she had a beautiful wider shoulders. I really love the aesthetics and the flow of her body. She was just a little softer from the back compared to Anna. And Anna had that conditioning and then density. They both have that. They both have that beautiful round muscle that flows. So definitely,
she has strong traps, strong shoulders, just strong back development.
Dense, big,
very
muscles.
Dense, big muscles. Absolutely
beautiful. And then Amanda had that 3D pop with a beautiful flow, and she's always very feminine. She moves very flowing, very pretty,
I love
sexy.
It. Yes.
Okay, we had, and then we had Lenka Ferenkukova, and actually, honestly, I've seen Lenka in better shape before. Lenka, sorry, I've seen her in better shape before. I've seen her harder. She has this beautiful structure, beautiful flowing lines. But in the past, she was like polished to perfection, and I think she was one step away from that today, and that's why I think that costed her landing in higher places.
Yep, and I was impressed with also Winsome White. I just want to make sure I mention her. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful structure. She just has to put on some more size.
Yeah.
Right? When you look at the women that placed first, second.
Yeah.
Just beautiful structure.
And then fourth place was Autumn Swanson. Autumn came in great shape. She's always like so conditioned and in such great quality. And then so she ended up fourth place. And then we had Romana Scottson. She was a little bit blockier in the waist, but overall her quality was amazing. Like really hard, dense muscles.
Very dense muscles.
Yeah. So congratulations, ladies. Let's see if there's Autumn Swanson also got second in the over 40.
Okay.
Just throwing that in.
Yeah, which again, it's amazing the athletes over 40.
Yes.
And how amazing they look. And they go and open and just kick butt.
We've also had bikini.
So that was the critique of Wynn's physique from the eight-time Miss Olympia, Linda Murray, and also the 2018 Rise Feeding Champion, Alina Popa. And you know both these ladies, they're wonderful ladies. I got to meet Alina. I love talking about it. I got to meet her back in 2022. I saw Linda, but I didn't get a chance to talk to her. But I know my man, if he's still here, KL, you still here? He actually interviewed Winsome White. KL, here, because she, I think it was was it last year you interviewed her?
Winsome White?
Yeah.
That was like, somewhere last year.
And she's from New York, like KL, and she did an interview with her. And I think she also did Omaha last month. I think she was top 3 in that show. And like one thing, she is kind of short. She's kind of like Michaela. She's short, but she's more lean. And it's harder for her to really put on that size. Because she was a lot bigger girl. If you remember the interview, she used to be a bit overweight. So but the lineup was impressive. I mean, I'm gonna quote the picture here. How our house, who was a while back, I think it was a couple years ago when last time she competed at Olympia. She was, remember, I think Keith, you were there in Tampa last time she competed. He told me, he said, George, check out the girl in the was it the rainbow posing suit? I said, who was that? Yeah. I think she should pull up here in a minute. I think she's right here somewhere. Gotta go through here. Give me a second, folks. I will pull up the pictures here. Here we go. And I'm gonna pull it up here a second. And she won both overall, and also she won both open. And she has a pretty impressive physique. Let's see here. If I get a little more of a larger picture here, let me go ahead. Let's go to her interview where she gave. We can probably see a little more detail of her right here. There we go.
The winner here. You look fantastic. Tell us how you feel.
I feel very happy. I've been working very hard for the last year to go back to the Olympia and a win, not on points, which I'm glad they took that off. So it's very exciting. And the most exciting part is to see so many women's physique athletes competing in the same show. So that makes me very happy.
Well, tell us your prep time when getting ready for this show, and what inspiration can you share with us?
Wow. The prep time was, we literally planned this after my last show last year. So I started prep in December, and it's just a lot of work, a lot of more. Uh, I'm sorry.
Do you have any coaches to thank? Family?
My husband
Okay.
is my backbone. I coach myself. I do everything for myself. He's just in the back telling me if I'm doing the right thing or not. Supporting me 100%. So I'm very grateful and thankful for that.
Well, on behalf of the Wings of Strength and Pro-Tan, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you down the road. Best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank
All right.
And like I said, she has a pretty. She's bit on. I would say. Let me pull up on her IG. She's
Where's
kind of
she
bit on.
from?
She's originally from Mexico, but she lives in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's kind of yeah, she's kind of on the. I think I would say she's a bit on the leaner side when it comes to some of the competitors, especially in physique. She, especially around the legs. I think she has good conditioning. Let me see if I can pull it up. Wait a minute. Here we go. Right here. You usually have the list. See. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Let me check. Give me 30 seconds, folks, guys. Uh, but I think the thing is with her saying that she trains herself, you know, I think
Impressive.
that might be a thing that kind of might maybe halt a little bit because sometimes it's good to have a coach
A
because
subjective point of view.
yeah, because if your husband's your coach, he tells you this, or she's your own coach, but a husband's telling he's your husband. He's just telling you, you know, he might want to hear or what he looks. Oh, here we got him a man, Warrior 2000s. He says this. He says, "How gorgeous does Linda Murray look? She is beautiful. Can you believe this woman is 62 years old? I mean, I wouldn't think it." Also, this is from Warrior uh, says Alita Popa is sexy with her accent and amazing lady. She was one of my favorite athletes during her prime. And also, Lena was also the coach of our dear friends here's wife. That was back. Not no longer coaching anymore. And I think those two women are really they're doing good work. They're promoting the shows. Give opportunities for the divisions. Alina got a show coming up in September that is the Alina Popa Classic, where it's exclusively just women's bodybuilding. It's no other division. Maybe in the future she might add a couple more divisions just so you'll get some competitors to be opportunities. But that's good that she's stepping up and giving a because that year was they had uh the Masters Olympia over there, and here this is what I heard during the interview said that because Salika won in Masters, she's qualified for the Master
Mexico.
Olympia.
Yep.
So now you don't have to do the invitation anymore. So that's pretty good. And my big bro, he's gonna be competing in this show. He'll be doing open and masters.
Yep.
Maybe he maybe get his
That's the
qualification there.
plan. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we're right on point. Melanie's taking over my coaching, and we're in a good place right now. Let's just say that very good place.
that's good. It's good that you found the right coach and somebody that works with you. And like I said, I'm gonna wish
Y'all
you best of
coaching
luck.
Tina.
Yeah, you and Tina. Wish you because I know Tina's planning to do the show in Anaheim.
Yep.
And then I know this year she's not. I'm surprised she hadn't got invited to the Olympics because you've been invited about every year.
Yeah. To
Just
Worlds.
not
Yeah.
the Worlds, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but
And here's the thing. I think Tina was at her all-time best when she was with Melanie. Melanie went through a spell of, some things, some personal things in her life, being sick and some health issues. And she came out here. She was just out here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And Melanie is, I can't, thank her enough for taking back on us. We walked away from Mel because um, we wanted her to be healthy. We wanted her to get her health back in order, and now she's healthy, or getting back to being healthy. She's a very knowledgeable person. She Tina never placed out of the top five when she was with Melanie, never. And then when we had to go away because Melanie was having health issues, things started spiraling down. So I think what she's bringing to Anaheim, being back with Melanie, people are going to be really impressed and really shocked at what they see. I'm kind of keeping it under wraps, but yeah, it's something special happening, here in Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah. We got here from our man, Rahi Hamlin says, George, maybe the cost of a coach is too high for her. I can understand that. Also, this is from our man, Money J says, so he could get potential. I see it. Thank you, brothers. Also, this is from, he says, good luck, Keith. And also he
Appreciate you.
says, yeah. And also he says, here we go. Yeah, my computer's getting slow. I need to get to the computer. Yeah. There it is. I don't know why it's confused. That says, "I wish you well, brother."
Thank
But
you.
like I said, I'm going to bring up some pictures of not Salika, of Anna, and this is from the show. And she has good taper. But if I look at her in one way, I see her more closer to figure. If you look at the women in figure now, I mean, her condition is good. It was on point. Like I said, that was one thing. Good condition. And also, I think one thing I think that might have helped to win the show, I'm going to show it in a second, is her back. You can really see how everything's popping. She from the back, she looked really good. The condition looked really good. I mean, I think that was the thing that probably helped her play so well and also to beat
Here's
Machado.
here's my 2 cents, and I'm just gonna give my 2 cents.
Go ahead.
Isn't this what the definition of women's physique is supposed to be? You know, Sandy talked about, and I've heard her say this on several occasions. They don't want the prostration and the glutes because that's harder, more towards women bodybuilding. I actually like this look for a women's physique look. I think this is what women's physique should be about. Because now if you look at these pictures of her, I can say, okay, this is what women's physique. But even though like Sarah and Natalia are smaller, but they're just fucking shredded. And so it's like when I'm looking at that, I'm like, you got cross tracing your glutes. Sandy said they didn't want that. This is more of a good women's physique look for, in my opinion. I like this look better than the other girls. Even though she's a champion, I get it. But the definition of women's physique is trying to stay away from women's bodybuilding, and this is just a good look to me. I like it.
Yeah, I think she looks pretty good. And she did it. She turned pro back, I think, in 2020 at the Arnold Classic. And then she competed. She got a pro card, I think. Her Olympic qualification, I think, within the next year. Next year she did 2021. Then she was trying to get another shot at 2022, but then she lost to GD Philman in Tampa because you were there. You would when you see me say George, there's
Yeah.
this girl out here. Yeah. I said, what? Who's this? I said,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. And then she did a few shows last year, but didn't place as well. And maybe she just need to take a step back a little bit and make some adjustments, and maybe put in the right. Maybe just I don't know. Maybe like I say, working without a coach might work. It's all depending on the person because
Yeah.
a coach gives you some different perspective, especially you being a coach and you being a judge,
Yep.
your experience.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the biggest thing is like that's when when she went into women's physique, I coached her, but you need that separation. You know, that's why we went with Melanie. We met Melanie at the Arnold or the Lou Ferrigno Classic, and when Tina decided to go into women's bodybuilding, it's a different science and a different pedigree, And again, at the end of the day, I tried to do that myself. With the Pittsburgh Pro, and I think I was second. I tried to, I was like, but you need, and Tina's there, she's looking at me, but she's not a coach, so you need that perspective. Not saying everybody needs a coach, but a second, one of my boys at the gym today, guys I train with, I'm like, I need you to be brutally honest with me and what we're looking at, what we're doing, and so when you have that, it puts things in perspective. Like you said, her husband may be saying she sounds great, she looks great, but again, at the end of the day, it's like, some people, like you say, you think she's a little lean, things like that, and everybody has their opinion, and just having a coach or somebody who is a little bit more knowledgeable gives you a different perspective and a more subjective point of view, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's why I don't coach myself.
And that's the thing, it's about understanding